Hey, Andrew from Paranova Property Buyers here. Here I'm with Courtney, and Courtney just sold her house on Monica Drive. And do you call that Broadmoor or Current Terrace?
Yes, it's a
Or
Broadmoor neighborhood
Broadmoor. Okay,
in the
yeah,
University District near
right, right.
UAR.
And the house right across the UALR neighborhood. Courtney, I'm glad I can, meet you first time. We see each other, even though it's just virtually, right? Isn't that crazy that how we do business nowadays? What it used to be, we always meet the person, together in real world and do the whole business, in real world. Now, like we transition to virtual, but
Yes.
uh,
We've
so
known each
okay,
other
so
by
let's
text conversations so far.
yeah, so let's go back to the beginning of it. So it started from a text,
hmm
right? It's just crazy, which just sounds like just like a scam,
Yes. Yes, I
right?
got
So
a random text about, do you want to sell your house? Which I was actually in the market to sell my house, and I thought it was really odd. I was like,
it
is
is
somebody
crazy.
listening to
Yeah,
me or what's
mhm,
happening
yeah,
here?
yeah.
I was very
So
skeptical.
right, very, very. I will be too. Like, I'm glad you opened your ears and you kind of want to hear what other people have to say because you just happen. I happen to reach you at the perfect time.
hmm
So like our needs and wants like just like perfectly matched.
Yes.
Um, and then you moved out the house already. It was a really nice house, a big house. So it does have something that needs to be fixed up, but man, I really like that house. It's just super big and new roof and all the things, like lots of space. So I really like. It's a great neighborhood for both rental as well as a first-time home buyer. Uh,
hmm
I really like that. About that, what do you think about the whole experience of selling the house to me in my small business, Paranova Property Buyers?
Oh, it was absolutely seamless. I think, again, my first hurdle was the skepticism. I thought, what a weird coincidence that when I need to sell my house, I get this text and this is just some random scam. Somebody like, somebody's just casting this wide net and they're trying to scam people. And I have heard of scams like that. And so I
Right,
was very
right.
doubtful, but, I'd gotten to a place where I'd put a lot of money into my house. I'd gotten a new roof, a new air conditioning unit, a new sewage
Yeah.
main line, and it needed some repairs that had just become untenable. And so I wasn't quite desperate, but I also thought, who's going to
Mhm.
buy this house? So I went ahead and texted back and just
Yeah.
said, what will you offer? How do we start this? Still skeptical. And you called me on the phone. And so being able to speak to you on the phone, to a live human that is local, really made the difference for me. And then once I knew that your business name, and then I could get on the internet and I saw such great Google reviews, it helped the skepticism, but I still just thought, this has got to be too good to be true because it's happening right when I need it to happen.
Wow, yeah, it's such a coincidence. I
Yeah.
understand. Well, as far as what I do, that kind of things. So most of people that reach out to me, sometimes I get calls from people. People just call, look it up, and they want to sell their house quick, or they want to sell their house as is. They don't want to do any repairs. You put in the Google search, sometimes my business, my website will come up, so people will give me a call. Most of the time, people that call me, there are like the two cases. The one is people that really need to sell quick, either some like a live events happen,
hmm
um, so they either need to relocate to somewhere or they need to downsize immediately. Um, or the house just need a lot of repairs. Either they live in it or they don't live in it. Is someone else living in it, like their family relative, but they're not taking care of the property.
hmm
And like that happens all the time. Or a elderly uh, uh, person that's living there for a long time. Just lot of stuff that's been accumulated over time, and they are not taking care of the property either.
hmm
So, and then there's also the vacant house is almost abandoned. So it's just those kind of cases, people reach out to me. And then there's also people reach out to me when they don't have much equity in the house, but they couldn't sell on the market because they got to pay for the realtor, they got to pay for the fix up, they got to pay for the closing, they got to pay for everything, So, and that's how I come in as well. So I come in that kind of case, I come from a creative strategy how to get a house sold. It may not be an all cash offer on that case, and so be still able to solve their problem if they are willing to work with me to work out a long-term solution.
Mm-hmm.
But basically that's what my business is. um, just one last question. So if you can tell the people that's still on the fence about calling and doing business with a home buyer business locally, what do you say to them?
My first thing I would say is, talk to Andrew and Paranova before you list your property with an agent, because I didn't realize there was a caveat. If it was already listed with an agent, you wouldn't be able to come in and buy it the way you did.
Right.
And mine, I just happened to not have it listed yet. So I definitely would say, it's worth their time to call you first, let you make an offer and see what that is,
Yeah.
so that they can kind of think about that, because I did it that way, and I was able to save thousands of dollars in closing costs,
Mm-hmm.
because the buyers went ahead and paid the closing costs. I
Right.
didn't lose that 6% that I would have paid to an agent, and I really felt like my interests were at heart. Everything went through a title company, so it wasn't like some shady,
Oh
contract that I
yeah.
was signing. It was all a legitimate title company that, they have their reputation on the line as well. So
Mm-hmm.
I would definitely recommend people just to do their research, read about your business, read the reviews, know that it's going to be a legit transaction. They can also walk away. So there's no getting locked into something. You can
Right.
do all the verbal communication. And really, that's what I appreciated. You were always reachable. If I had a question or concern, you were one text away. You made time for phone calls. And so I really felt assured knowing that I was talking to someone that was like local, that's a small business. I really appreciate helping small businesses. I wouldn't want to do something like just sell my house to Bank of America. That's not me. I don't want to work with giant companies. And so it was really great to, the timing of it, I hadn't had it listed and the communication was seamless. So I would really encourage people, if they're thinking of selling and they especially want to sell as is, to just give you a call first and see what you have to offer. Andrew, with you and me, you had made an offer originally that I was like, no
Yeah.
thanks. And then you actually kept working for me and
Yeah.
talked to some other people that
Mhm.
and
Yeah.
actually I was able to sell that way. So even though I rescinded your first offer, you still helped me out in finding a buyer, which I truly appreciated. So it was seamless. Everything was clear, straightforward. I was able to understand all the forms that were filled out, so I didn't feel like I really needed a realtor to interpret it or a lawyer to make sure. I really felt, and I knew it was legitimate because there were several companies' reputations on the line.
Right. Yeah. Well, thank you very much for the compliment and recommendation of my business. So going back to what you said, right? So I mean, we're really in the business of helping people, right? If people have a problem, so in your case, you had a problem, you want to sell your house, and your house still needs a little bit fixed up, but I do know someone else that's able to help you, right? So even though my own offer is a bit lower, but someone else's offer worked for you. But to think about, different investors, they work in different area and they invest in different things. Some investors, they like to buy big houses, right? And they can fix up and resell it. Some people like to invest in small house, like 3 bedroom, 1 bathroom, 1,000 square foot, small, tiny rental house. That's their bread and butter. And some people like to invest in, say, a mobile home park because they have a tenant in there. Every tenant just pay them a lot fee, like $200, $300, right? And then you manage the whole lot. And some people like to invest in, say, apartments, and just different people do different things. And some people, they might have their own crew, a construction crew, to do the fixing and stuff. So it's just like different people, they specialize in different things, they like different things, they have different people in their network to able to help them and finish that construction, remodeling, or the having the tenant moving in, or resell the property. So well, so you have your own business as well. So I'm hoping for someone that watched this video, they haven't, maybe just maybe you can be a service to them. So can you tell us about like your business? What do you do? What you can do for your potential customers?
Yes,
Really quick.
my business is True Self Therapy, and I can be found online on Facebook. I have my own website, which is trueselftherapyar.com. I'm a mental health therapist, and I have one other therapist working at my office. Actually, right now I'm so fully booked, I can't take new clients, but that can change in weeks or months. I'm in training to be a sex therapist, and so I'll be helping with specialized issues around intimacy, sexuality. I already specialize in working with gender nonconforming and transgender clients. So I see a lot of people who are sexual minority in the state, and also a lot of transgender clients very early in transition. So that is my specialty, and I hope to bring more education and couples therapy and sex related topics to Arkansas, because they're very limited. So that's who I am, and that's where I am. My name is Courtney Frierson. I'm a licensed certified social worker here in the state of Arkansas. And again, my business is True Self Therapy. And the
Perfect.
website is trueselftherapyar.com.
Okay, all right. We'll put that on the caption of the video. That's awesome. Okay, all right. Thank you very much for getting on the call with me, and I'm really glad that we did business together. And let's see how we can help each other in the future.
Sounds good. Thank you so much for your help, Andrew.
No problem.
All
Bye.
right. Bye.